do I have here? I have. Here's a guy was telling me. He said his wife was complaining. He said my stew is too salty. It was too watery. I left her with a strange metallic aftertaste. And he said, "Bitch, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that dish." Is that it? Blood, sweat, tears. Okay.
Metallic, right. I get it.
Metallic taste. Yeah. I didn't know what people meant by metallic taste because, you don't really taste your own blood that much. And then I took a bad shot in karate one time, and my mouth was bleeding, and I go, "Oh, there it is. Now I understand what people are talking about." Copper. Oh, okay, now I got it. All right. Let's go on to the next joke. Guy says, "I told my sister to come work for me at my porn company. Come work for me at my porn company because last year I made $1 million." And she said, "That's gross." And I said, "No, that's net." Right? And after learning that $1 million was net, she no longer thought it was gross. That's got a double meaning. Okay. All right. Now, a man walks into a lawyer's office. He says, "My wife wants to divorce me." And the lawyer goes, "Well, on what grounds?" And the man says, "Well, on any ground where she can get a judge to okay it," the man responded. And the lawyer tries again. "I mean, does she have any grounds for divorce?" Right? Says, "Yeah, she owns half of our 2 acres. I think we can take the land from her." The man replies, and the lawyer says, No. Trying to rephrase it. "I mean, is there a grudge?" He said, "No, I don't think we have anything fancy like that. Just to park we just park in the driveway." He said, "No, she wants to divorce. I mean, did you beat her up or something?" And the lawyer tried again and said, No. She gets up about half an hour earlier before me. I'm a heavy sleeper. Ain't no chance I would ever beat her up." Get it? Getting out of bed before her, and the lawyer says, the lawyer's just ready to give up. He says, "Okay, why do you think she wants a divorce?" To which the man says, "Well, she says I never really understand what she's talking about." I think she's got grounds for divorce for that one. I think, I'm seeing her side of the story after all that. Gosh almighty. Goodness gracious. Anyway, here's a kid, right? Have you heard stories about kids walking in on the parents when they're doing it? And how awkward and horrible that is?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, this little kid goes up to mommy, says, "Mommy, I saw you jumping on Daddy's belly." Mommy's got to think quick, and she's thinking, "Well, Mom, okay, we're trying to get rid of Daddy's big belly. I jump on him so that the air will come out." And Billy goes, "I know why it's not working then. The woman from next door comes in every afternoon when you go shopping, and she blows the air back into him again." All right, I'm going to tell one more joke, and then I'm going to hand things off to Synnove. Synnove, will you be ready for us? Synnove?
Sure.
All right. Okay, so here's my last joke before Synnove, and it is, a guy asked a girl in the library, said, "Do you mind if I sit by you?" Because it was the only empty chair, all right? He didn't want to take the only empty chair if she's got, like, friends or something, right? So he's just being curious. He's not courteous. He's not trying to come on to her or anything. But the lady won't have any of that, right? She decides, you know what, I'm going to embarrass the hell out of this guy. So she says in a very loud voice, "No, I don't want to spend the night with you." It's like, what the hell? Right? So anyway, all the students in the library looked up at the guy, and he was embarrassed, of course, and the girl whispered to him, "I study psychology, and I know that what a man is thinking. You're embarrassed, right?" And the guy responds in a loud voice, $200 for just one night? That's too much! That'll teach her a lesson. Anyway, so with that, I am going to hand things off to Synnove. So, Synnove, you don't have to get up here because I understand you have troubles with your computers. So you just take over the voice and entertain us. Make us laugh, please.
Okay, I'll tell a handful of jokes, and then maybe I can play the accordion a little bit.
Yay!
Mrs. Axel Snoosheim, she lived across the street from Ole and Lida, and she confided to Lena one day that she had been considering a facelift, but she couldn't afford the $5,000, so she had her body lowered for only $59.95.
Oh gosh.
There was this village busybody, Solveig Fiskaballer. She criticized Lars about his periodic drinking bouts, and she called him a drunken bum, and he was not about to be intimidated, and he gave Solveig a piece of his mind. He says, well, I may be drunk today, and I may have been drunk yesterday, but I think you are ugly, and you know something? Tomorrow I'll be sober, and you will still be ugly.
Hey, why not's back? Hey, why not? Yeah.
Hello.
No, I got one. This is as close as I'll come to a, I can't remember what you call it. It is not politically correct,
Yay!
but I'll do it anyway.
So we like that.
We like
okay.
that.
Very few people know that General George Custer, he had a Norwegian soldier with him at the historic Battle of the Little Bighorn. His name was Ole. And just before the battle, he rode his horse up to General Custer saying, General, I got some bad news and some good news. Okay, says Custer, I'll have the bad news first. Well, we are completely surrounded by Indians, and there's no way we're going to get out of here alive. Well, then Custer says, what's the good news? And the good news, says Ole, we don't have to go back to North Dakota.
Come on.
There was this Signe Gunderson. She has a daughter, and still in the market for a husband. And they went to a lutefisk supper in Minneapolis, and Mrs. Gunderson, she has this bachelor cornered, and she says, you should meet my daughter, Dagmar. She's a very good cook, good swimmer, fine dancer, plays golf, she plays tennis, rides horses, and is as smart as can be. And the bachelor, he finally gets a chance to ask a question. He says, is she pretty? And Signe says, oofta, if she was pretty, would I be talking to you?
Oh, yes.